every injury of Rhea Ripley's WWE career, explained. Rhea Ripley recently suffered an injury that has once again put her on the shelf for an extended period of time. On television, her latest injury, she fractured her right orbital socket, was attributed to the NXT parking lot beatdown from Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. However, she reportedly suffered the exact injury a week before during a segment following a legitimate headbutt. This was among the many injuries Rhea has suffered over the years in WWE. Some were less significant, while others kept her out of the ring for months. Rhea Ripley suffered a wrist injury from wrestling. Wore a brace to keep it safe. Around WrestleMania season this year, Rhea Ripley showed up on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour podcast. When asked about the brace on her wrist, Ripley said that it was due to an injury. This had been a lingering issue for her for a while now, and to protect the injury from worsening, Ripley was wearing a brace. WrestleMania was just days away, and neither Rhea nor WWE could afford her being unable to compete at the biggest wrestling show of the year, but it wasn't like Ripley couldn't use her hands or anything. She was wrestling just fine days before live events, but the brace was just there to protect her wrist. Rhea Ripley's match against Toni Storm led to an ear injury. Suffered a similar injury before in NXT. Rhea Ripley has had several brutal matches in the past few years. One of them was her NXT title match against Io Sky on an episode of NXT in November 2020. There was a ton of hype around this match, and both women delivered. The match was brutal, and it led to the doctor having to perform a skin procedure on Ripley's ear because it suffered contusions and abrasions due to 5 earrings getting ripped off. A month later, Ripley faced Toni Storm on NXT and once again, her ears took some damage. According to the NXT injury report, there was ear trauma as well as skin disfigurement. Rhea Ripley's shoulder injury forced her to relinquish her women's championship belt. Her reign ended at 380 days. Just days after WrestleMania 40, Rhea Ripley got injured. This was a freak incident, which happened during a brawl against Liv Morgan where Ripley went shoulder first on the wall. This caused the injury in her AC joint, which led to her giving up her women's championship. She passed on having surgery, recovered quickly in just 3 months, and returned in July. Although there were reports that Ripley wouldn't work at SummerSlam, she faced Liv Morgan in a championship match but failed to defeat her. Rhea Ripley suffered a brain injury during a Monday Night Raw episode. Her injury also required some dental work afterward. Brain injuries are usually the worst kinds of injuries to exist. You can't see them, sometimes don't know how bad it is, and it might leave you with some permanent issues with your body. Lots of wrestlers have talked about how concussions still affect their day-to-day lives, for instance. And because these injuries are often not visible to the outside world, fans might think they're not as serious. This one wrestling fan said something similar on Instagram in 2022, and Ripley responded to them saying her injury affects her brain and teeth. How did this injury happen in the first place? During a match with Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, and Liv Morgan, Ripley hurt herself after a DDT from Morgan. Ripley's leg touched the rope, and the impact caused her knee to collide with her head. Rhea Ripley injured her orbital bone in October 2024. Second freak injury of Rhea Ripley this year. Rhea's most recent injury was a fractured orbital bone. It happened when she headbutted Morgan on the October 21st edition of Raw, and WWE wrote a segment to write her off from television. According to Dave Meltzer, she's not going to return soon. She's currently feuding with Liv Morgan, and it's very likely that once Ripley returns from her injury, she's going to get her revenge from the women's champion. Rhea Ripley, age, height, relationship status, and other things to know about her. Rhea Ripley has been extremely dominant in WWE. The Judgment Day member started off strong when she won the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match, allowing her the opportunity for a title match of her choosing at WrestleMania 39. After defeating Charlotte Flair, Ripley has gone on to be a mainstay and one of the most featured parts of WWE television. Whether she was defending her WWE Women's World Championship or aiding Judgment Day in their endeavors, Fans cannot get enough of Ripley is certainly one of the biggest names within this current generation of talent in professional wrestling. She will almost definitely continue to be one of the most valued assets in WWE going forward and for years to come. When thinking about the names in professional wrestling that are leading the current generation, Rhea Ripley is among them at the very top of the list. She is a phenomenal talent. While she has been with WWE for years, it has really been in the last two that she has exploded to the top of WWE and become one of the major faces of the promotion. Rhea is a powerhouse, something that has led her to winning countless championships in WWE and putting one classic match after classic match. Ripley is a major asset to the promotion and one that will continue to be important to WWE for years to come. Rhea Ripley was the inaugural WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion. She had defeated Charlotte Flair to become SmackDown Women's Champion. Rhea Ripley defeated Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. She is the only woman to have held that title to date. It is the same design as the World Heavyweight title, just with a white strap. After emerging victorious against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39, Rhea Ripley's reign as SmackDown Women's Champion began. It wasn't long though until she was drafted over to Raw. To avoid the same criticism and controversy of the title exchanges of the past, WWE opted to introduce newly named belts. Rhea Ripley was therefore crowned as the new and first ever Women's World Heavyweight Champion, which is a white-strapped version of Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight title, which takes influence from the old Big Gold World Heavyweight Championship, with a WWE logo slapped in the middle. Ripley was the third member of Judgment Day. Adam Copeland brought her into the group. Ripley joined the group at WrestleMania Backlash 2022. Ripley has often been referred to as the leader of the group. While it is difficult to think of Ripley without the Judgment Day, she was actually not a founding member of the group. That honor goes to her fellow stablemate, Damian Priest. However, Ripley joined not long after Priest. At WrestleMania Backlash 2022, Ripley cost AJ Styles a match against Adam Copeland, FKA Edge, and formally joined. The rest, as they say, is history, and Ripley has, arguably, become the de facto leader of the group and was involved in kicking Copeland out of the group. She is a Triple Crown and Grand Slam champion. Rhea Ripley has held every major title available to her in WWE. 1x Women's World Champion. 1x Raw Women's Champion. 1x SmackDown Women's Champion. 1x WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. 1x NXT UK Women's Champion. 1x NXT Women's Champion. 1x WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. Rhea Ripley may still only be quite young at 27 years of age, but she is already wildly successful in WWE and has plenty of titles in her locker. She is the 7th Women's WWE Triple Crown Champion, winning the Raw, SmackDown, and Women's Tag titles. She is also the 5th ever Women's WWE Grand Slam Champion too, winning the Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Women's Tag Team Championships. She joins lists including the likes of Bayley, Asuka, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Ronda Rousey. Rhea Ripley is married to Buddy Matthews. The two got married in 2024. The WWE and AEW wrestlers began dating in 2022. Matthews currently wrestles for AEW as a member of the House of Black. They got engaged in 2023. Rhea Ripley's relationship with fellow Aussie Buddy Matthews is no secret, as the pair are open about things online. The pair used to work under the same banner in WWE, though this changed when Matthews left for AEW, debuting in 2022. This has clearly not gotten in the way of their relationship. Motionless in White performed her theme at WrestleMania. She has used the song for years. Motionless in White is a metalcore band. They have been active since 2004. They have released 6 studio albums. Rhea Ripley has never shied away from her love of metal music. And at WrestleMania 40, fans got a true treat when she was played to the ring by the band that is responsible for her entrance music. Demon in Your Dreams is the name of the song, which is performed by the band Motionless in White. Ripley has spoken highly of them and told Kathy Kelly, "That was a dream come true. Like, I know we talk about WrestleMania and how everyone works so hard to, like, compete on this grand stage, and also it being WrestleMania XL, the biggest WrestleMania. I'm so glad and so happy and so privileged and so ecstatic that I got to share that with Motionless in White." Hat tip Essentially Sports. She has close friendships with other wrestlers. Ripley has often posted alongside her friends in the business. She is close with her Judgment Day members. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest became close in NXT. She is close with Zelina Vega. Behind the scenes, some wrestlers can be best friends with both their tag team partners and their bitter enemies. In the case of Ripley, she is close friends with Damian Priest, who is one of her fellow Judgment Day members. Ripley and Priest bonded in NXT and often push each other to improve. Ripley is also close friends with the likes of Zelina Vega, Dominik Mysterio, and more. Rhea Ripley is a Royal Rumble winner. She won the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble.